So I have here in front of me the Rogers Gardens 2023 Rose of the Year Uptown Girl. This is a really beautiful rose, so let's get right into it. I'm Sarah Smith. I'm a horticulturalist here at Rogers Gardens, and look how gorgeous this is. This is such a beautiful color. This is actually a grandiflora, so it is a cross between a hybrid tea and a floribunda. So it's got all the beauty, the great long stems, the really showy big flower of a hybrid tea, but it has all the hardiness of a floribunda, and you'll sometimes get multiple blooms on the end of a stem, just like you would with a floribunda. So it makes it a super good beginner rose. The floribundas tend to be very disease resistant, very resistant to things like powdery mildew, rust, and black spot, which we tend to get really a lot here on the coast because of all the humidity that we have. So this is great for you who don't want a fussy rose, or you've never planted a rose before and you want something really, really simple. It's got a really beautiful coloration. This is very popular right now, that kind of apricot-y sort of color. It goes great in arrangements. It's really good with mixing with other colors as well. And then it fades, like you can see the one on my hat, to a more orangey kind of color. So you get a lot of different colorations depending on what the bloom stage is, which is really, really beautiful. The stems are great and long for cutting. They last really long in a vase with some water. And it has that kind of beautiful scalloped, cupped, old-fashioned kind of bloom to it. So it's almost quartered when you look inside it. That's an old-fashioned kind of thing that you see in the more older English roses. So it has that beautiful ruffly inside, lots and lots of petals to it, and that color is just seriously to die for. So it's a very simple rose to take care of. One thing that I always suggest to everybody is make sure that you're feeding your roses very, very well. We have all kinds of videos on our website on how to plant a rose properly, how to care for a rose properly, and how to cut them back. So if you have any kind of questions, definitely refer to those other videos on our YouTube page, because anything you have question-wise when it comes to roses, I guarantee we have a video on it, so you can be the biggest, best rose expert. Something that's easy like this too, so you'll absolutely look like you know exactly what you're doing if you've never grown a rose before. If you're an expert rose grower, this is a really great one for you too, because the color blends with everything. I love cutting roses and bringing them inside the house, and this is a really good one for that. This rose has a fruity fragrance to it. It's not a real heady rose, but it's got a beautiful fruity, citrusy kind of smell to it. It gets to be about 3 to 4 feet tall, so make sure you really understand the height and size of your rose when you're planting it. For example, our Disneyland rose, which don't these pair so perfectly together? This was our Rose of the Year last year. This is a much shorter, low, shrubby kind of rose. So knowing your size is really important. These would pair beautifully together, where you can have this one in the background and this one in the foreground. Add some beautiful deep purples or blues and your garden will absolutely pop. They really work well together. It's almost like we planned that, right? So this rose is definitely shorter. This one's definitely taller. So make sure you truly understand that. All roses want a really good, sunny, well-drained location that will keep your rose really happy. And the one thing you definitely want to make sure that you pick up when you come into the store is some rose fertilizer. The rose fertilizer that we suggest here at Rogers Gardens is the Down to Earth. This is an Omni-rated organic fertilizer, so you can feel good about what you're putting in your garden, and it'll make your roses absolutely happy and healthy. This is something that you want to apply once a month, and you also want to apply it when you first plant it. So make sure when you come in, you're taking a box of this fertilizer so you're absolutely ready and prepped to plant your new rose in your garden. And if you're like me, where you have a ton of roses because every year you fall in love with something new, this will also go well in a container if you don't have space in your garden. As long as you have a large enough container and a good bright spot, it will be absolutely perfect. Like I'd mentioned before, if you have more in-depth questions about rose care, pruning, how to plant, we have tons of videos on our YouTube page, so make sure you go there and subscribe so you're up to date on all the great things we have going on here at Rogers Gardens, and you can become the best gardener you can possibly be, because we have answers for you there. Also, make sure you check out our online shop for our roses. We have 300-ish roses at the current moment online there, which is pretty amazing. That's a lot more than we actually have here in the store. So if you want a variety we don't have in the store currently, you can always special order it there. And it really only takes a couple of weeks, sometimes even 1 week, to get that rose here in the store. And when you're on our website, make sure you sign up for our email list there as well. We send you all kinds of beautiful information about what's going on here at Rogers Gardens, and you'll be the first one to know about new items that come in, the special events that we have here as well. So that way you come in, you can get the things before they sell out, because some of these items, like the Rose of the Year, can sell out pretty quickly because there's pretty high demand for it. Also, make sure you check out our Facebook and our Instagram page. We have all kinds of great, beautiful content there as well. You'll be the first to know about things that come in if you're checking that out daily. Things do go really fast, and there's all kinds of great videos on how to take care of things as well there too. So thank you so much for tuning in. Be well, be safe, and happy gardening, everybody. Bye.